Obviously, a long first set tiebreak had a bunch of. You came back from 0-3. Just thoughts on how that obviously probably was a big turning point in the match.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it could have been a little bit different if I won that set. I had it on my racket at 6-5 serving, and had a short forehand too, and didn't do anything with it. I hit it right back to him, and he passed me up the line because he's number 2 in the world, and that's what he does. And I didn't take advantage of that opportunity right there, and this was a bit deflating, but I felt good coming out of the rain delay. Felt fine. Just he was much better than me today, and that's why he is where he is.
John, how much did you feel like the conditions played a role today, and did you feel like you were kind of fighting against them and him?
No. I mean, the conditions were fine. I don't. If it's faster conditions, I don't know if the result's any different. I didn't. There's certainly no complaints about that. He's tough on any surface.
Andy, in the interview after the match, recognized that first set, could have changed the things. Mm-hmm. But really, in that court today, Milos lost with Albert Ramos. The heavy ball is bad for the servers in general.
Maybe, but I feel like I served pretty well today, and I was frustrating him a little bit on my serve, even in the heavy conditions with the balls pretty heavy. I don't think the conditions had much to do with it. I've lost to Andy on every surface really, so it's fine. It was no big deal.
John, you already talked about your plans for the rest of the summer and not playing the Olympics. Is the Davis Cup against Croatia in the cards? And if it is, can you make some comment about that?
Yeah, if Jim selects me, I'm going to be playing that Davis Cup tie for sure. So I guess it's coming up pretty soon. It's after Wimbledon. Something I'm looking forward to. Considering how well our team did in the first round against Australia. So it's been a few years since we've been in the quarterfinals, and we have a home tie. So it's going to be very exciting. And again, if I'm selected, I hope I am. I'll be there, and I'll be ready to go. I'm looking forward to it.
Just on that Olympic note, what kind of feedback have you gotten from folks it's a little I understand your reasons. It's a little unusual for a top player from a country not to play Olympics. Just what is the feedback been, either inside tennis, outside tennis?
Yeah, I think it's been mixed. I think I would say 70 to 80% probably negative feedback I've received, and the other 20% people recognize my feelings on it, but I respect both sides of it, certainly. I've been told unpatriotic. I don't think it's that. I don't consider myself that at all. But when I've explained my reasonings on why I'm not going to the Olympics, and again, it wasn't a surefire thing for me. It wasn't, I'm definitely not playing the Olympics. I thought through it a lot. You're
on the player council now, and a few of the other players have talked about the no ranking points being a sticking point. Also, do you think that was a mistake for the Olympics not to offer them?
I do. Yeah, I personally lobbied for points in the Olympics. I know in 2012 we had points, and I didn't even think it was enough points still. I can't recall exactly. I think I made the quarterfinals, and it was like 120 points. I think still that I should have gotten more for that. But now it's no points, So again, as I said earlier, that's a very, very big factor in my decision.
On that same topic. Did anybody try to persuade you not to skip him and to go to Rio? Fellow
No.
players or anybody in the
No.
USTA or?
It was my decision solely. No, I had no persuasion one way or the other. So yeah, it was, again, it's not without precedent either. I believe Andy didn't play in 2008 and Marty in 2012. So again, that's not a reason why I'm not going, but it has happened before.
Switching back to today's match, I'm just wondering with Andy Murray, how you would rate his return game, and is he as effective a returner as you faced, or are there others you would put above him, or many others?
He's up there for sure. I mean, I guess you could say maybe Novak was a little bit better than him, if that. I mean, I think he's got an uncanny ability to get his racket on the ball a lot somehow, and after that, he's so athletic and quick and anticipates so well and moves so well. He's arguably the best defender in the game. And he showed that a bit today as well. So it's not necessarily just his return; it's everything after that. His ability to get balls back in play, and he's a gifted guy.
John, you said the other day that you were desperate to break through and get to another quarterfinal. So I'm just wondering if you feel after today, it's kind of a bang your head against the wall kind of moment, or get back to work kind of moment.
I believe it's more of a get back to work. It's disappointing. I would have liked to have had that forehand back at 6-5 in the tiebreaker. I think I went with option D there. A, B, and C would have been better. But I do think I did turn a corner on my season this week, considering how I was down and out in my first round match. So I'm leaving this tournament with positive feelings going forward in my year here in 2016. So it's not going to be a somber ride back to the States for me. Whereas a lot of times this year I've left the tournament with a very bad taste in my mouth. It's not so much that this week.
John, apologies if you've already been asked this. From where I was sitting, it looked like you played really well today. Do you think you might have just been knocked out by potentially the finalist or somebody who can actually go on and win this tournament?
Oh, no, for sure. I was beaten by a better player, no doubt. And that's why he's number 2 in the world. That's why I'm number whatever in the world. He showed that today. I played all right for sure. I'm not disappointed in that. I could have done obviously a few things better. I think Andy would say he could have done a few things better out there. So, yeah, he's playing very well. Playing well on this surface. I think he proved that leading up to this event, winning Rome and making the finals of Madrid. So it was a tough task for me, for sure. But that's what happens when you get to the second week of Grand Slams, and I'm seated where I'm seated. I'm gonna have to run up against guys like him, and I didn't have the goods today.
Been a change about this year in Davis Cup about adding a 5th set tiebreak.
Yeah.
And just you're somebody who has experience in that sort of region of matches. Just wondering what you think of that rule and the general.
No, I
push.
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll always lobby for that. I had no idea of that rule actually until the day before our team press conference or whatever. Someone was asked about that, and I didn't even know in Australia. That's what I'm talking about. But I like it. But I guess this week I did win a 5-setter that wasn't long and drawn out, which I'm pretty happy about. But if I had any say, I would choose a tiebreaker. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.